Captain America, bah! He will not interfere with my plans. Nothing can stop the Red Skull.
Hey there, kids. Welcome back. David from Atomic Candy, and right now we are where? Open by chance. And what I am opening up with for you here today is the Mezco 1/12 Collective Red Skull. The Red Skull. And this is the second incarnation of Red Skull by Mezco. The original one in the green outfit is more of a Kirby-esque sort of a look to it. Now I'll go ahead and I'll pull this bag off. The bag is loosely attached so that you can see the back of the box a little bit better. Or the back of the cardboard sleeve, because this is at the very beginning of the transition in box styles from Mezco. This is a very popular figure. Both of the Red Skulls are. The one in the green outfit is a lot harder to get than this one, but this one is still very desirable. And this one is based more on the design of the film version starring Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving, of course, playing the Red Skull in Captain America: The First Avenger. Let's go ahead and take that sleeve off. You see that there's a plastic sleeve on top of a cardboard sleeve, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a moment when I say transitional box. The box doesn't want to stand. It's rolling a little bit on the bottom. This is the plastic that covers the cellophane window. Take that away. Still kind of hard to see him in there, but of course we will be opening this up to examine him. It's rolling a little bit on the bottom. Look at that. I don't want it to topple over. We'll turn this around, and you see that it says Red Skull all the way around this box. And what I was talking about is that a lot of the new Mezco figures, they just have a generic black box all the way around. It doesn't look like this one. But we're going to go ahead and open this up, and I'll show you again how to open this. Those of you who are not familiar with this channel, I always show this part so that you can see an easy way to get that box flap open without putting creases in the flap if you want to keep it really in perfect shape. See, just give it a little twist with a knife or some other implement, and it will pop right out. Ages 18 and up. Not a toy for children. See? Not a toy for children, they say. Let's go ahead and slide the trays out and see what the figure looks like. There we go. Now it stands up. Here we are. He doesn't come with too many accessories. I'll pop that exterior tray off, and we'll take a closer look at him underneath. And there we are. And that is a very Kirby looking head. It does not really look like the head from the film very much at all, I don't think. And we'll take a closer look at the other head here in a moment. And you see he's already fully dressed, and this does not come off. The belt and the jacket and everything doesn't seem to come off. So let's get him out of there and stand him up and take a look at all of his accessories.
That was idiotic. There is no place to run here.
So here we are back with our Red Skull out of the package. Johann Schmidt is his real name. Created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby way back in 1941. Because he is war propaganda, just like Captain America. First appearance in Captain America Comics number 7, I think, October 1941. Captain America and Red Skull were both war propaganda for World War II. A lot of comic books and a lot of very famous comic characters from that era that are still around today were developed as war propaganda. On the back of the box, they picture the pistol belt separately, but it doesn't come off. It does not come off, so I don't know why it's pictured separately. And the front of the coat has a Velcro strap, but the coat doesn't come off either. I suppose it could come off if you could remove the belt, but since the belt doesn't come off, the coat's not going to come off. Johann Schmidt. I guess that was the least offensive sounding German name that they could come up with, considering it was wartime. Still a very Kirby looking skull. It does not look very much like the Hugo Weaving rendition from Captain America, the First Avenger. I think they just kind of copied the same head mold from the green version. I like that the base has the Hydra symbol. I do like the way that that looks, and his foot fit on there pretty well, and that's a common problem with a lot of the Mezco 112 figures, is that they don't fit on the bases very well. Take a look at some of the accessories. There's the Tesseract, which no detail on it at all. It's basically just a little blue cube, and I suppose that's all it was in the film anyway. But there's his Tesseract. A clutching hand. I suppose that's for holding the Tesseract, so you can have him marveling at the Tesseract. Although holding it didn't work out too well for him in the film. A trigger finger hand, because he does have a pistol. The classic German 9mm Luger, you can see here. If I can get that in focus, there we go. A lot of good detail on the Luger. Look at the other side of it here, I'll show you the barrel. There we go. Camera didn't want to show it to you, I guess. There's even a little tiny hole in the front of it. You see that? It's good detail. And two right hands, or two left hands, with varying degrees of grasping. They both look like grasping hands, but they're shaped differently. This one is a tight fist grasping, and this one's more of an open hand grasping. They can't both be for the pistol. Let me see. The pistol goes nicely in there. And then it's not wide enough to fit in here. Why'd they give him this hand? I don't understand the purpose of this hand unless there's an accessory that's missing, and I don't see anything missing. Everything that's pictured on the box is here. So I don't understand the purpose of that hand, if there's nothing specific for that hand to hold. And here's an angrier skull, as opposed to just the standard angry grimace that he has on the other skull, or head, deformed because he gave himself an untested, defective version of the super soldier serum. Let's compare their heads together. Yeah, that's very Kirby looking. Very Kirby looking. Doesn't look like the Hugo weaving version at all. Let's test his posability. There we go. Really good arm movement. Considering the jacket, usually these heavy coats restrict a lot of the movement. The thick coats make it impossible to pose him, but he's got a lot of good articulation in the arms and shoulders. Good pivot on the wrist. Flesh tone underneath there. You see that? On the wrist itself. I wonder if I'm going to have trouble changing these out. Good articulation on this wrist too. A little bit of restriction because of the coat, but yeah, there we go. Because he's wearing a sweater under that. You see this Velcro, but you can't take the coat off. And then he's got that thick turtleneck underneath there. And it looks like, if you can see that well, it's got a turtleneck. And then you can see the shirt inside here. I'm trying to show you. Right next to the cuff. You see the second cuff there? So the shirt's all the way on. This jacket's never been removed, obviously. So it might make accessing that wrist joint a little tough. Belt doesn't come off, at least not that I can figure it out, it doesn't. And the holster doesn't open. I'm surprised they did that, because then you could put the pistol in the holster, but this holster is a solid piece. I'm kind of surprised. I would have liked to have seen, oh, here we go, wait a minute. There is a flap, but let me see. Is that, oh, look at that, here we go. Alright, I did not realize. Yes, I can indeed put the pistol in the holster. It looked like it was a solid piece, I guess because it was just so tight in that strap. Good deal, I like that. I like that that can open. I was a little bit disappointed when I thought that you couldn't. I don't see anywhere that this belt can be unhooked to get the coat off. There is a point right here where this will open. You see there's a little notch. So this will open, and I guess you might be able to slide this belt down over the coat, but I bet that would be a nightmare to get back up. I wouldn't want to mess with that too much. Splits to about there. Any further than that, you might risk tearing the pants. About average for forward and backward hip movement. It's not bad at all. Knees, double jointed in the knee. Excellent. Double jointed in the knee. Twists above the boot. So you get a really good twist below the knee. Forward and backward tilt, kind of limited. Side to side tilt, kind of limited. Alright. Let's try getting Red Skull into a pose and see how that looks. I'll change out a hand for you just to see how difficult that might be. That came off easy enough. Let's see. Come on. There we go. That's not too bad. Try the head. It's a nice thick joint on top of there. Oh, and the neck pivots independently. I forgot to test head rotation, didn't I? Well, after we switch this out, we'll see. Because the neck is jointed in two places, there's a lot of head movement. Look at that. I like that, actually. So you can get the head into all kinds of positions. Look at that. Very nice. Alright, let's set him up in a pose and see how that looks.
Tell me, do you think I could be president of the United States someday?
And here we are back with our Mezco 112 Collective Red Skull. Red Skull version 2 here. in a somewhat dynamic pose. Actually, really good posability on this one, considering that normally a thick coat like that would obstruct a lot of the arm movement, a lot of the arm positioning. But he looks pretty good, actually. I like this one. Got a nice collection of defeated wrestlers there, because after all, he has had the super soldier serum. So he should be able to kick the living crap out of a bunch of wrestlers, right? But yeah, he's up there and he looks good. I like the overall look and feel of this figure. I'm kind of impressed with it. I think this may end up being one of my favorites. I had to put him on the top 10 list. I still don't understand the purpose of the second left clutching hand that doesn't really hold anything. Unless maybe it's designed for him to hold on to a strap on his coat in a pose like you see on the back of the box there. They've got him in kind of just an imposing standing there pose rather than a dynamic pose like what I did here. But overall, I do like the look of this figure. I can see why it's such a popular figure, and he has a lot of basic posability, as well as a pretty decent look overall. The arm was a little loose. The support arm was a little loose. However, a Phillips head screwdriver will fix that. It's just a basic Phillips head screw that it takes. So you can tighten or loosen those if you needed to. I'm not sure if you were aware of that. Good detail on the costuming as well. Like you see the Hydra belt buckle, and there's a Hydra snap on the holster, as well as on his red arm band. Right there. They elected not to use any Nazi symbolism, even though Hydra was connected to the Nazis. Again, the creation of Red Skull as well as Captain America were designed primarily for war propaganda during World War II. I can understand why they would have wanted to avoid that. A little bit of controversy and just go ahead with the Hydra symbols instead. What do you think of Red Skull? I like it. I like the way it looks. I like the nod to Kirby with the way that the heads have been sculpted. I prefer this one to the other head. You can see right here, just the I'm just angry face, as opposed to the I'm going to tear you a new one face. What do you think? What do you think of the Red Skull? Is this one that you'd be interested in? Tell me your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope you did. Find me on Instagram, Open by Chance on Instagram. Check out some of our other videos. I do a lot of Mezco unboxings as well as many other things on this channel. Toy hunts and reviews and discussions and you name it, and we probably do it. Check out some of the other videos. You may find something you like. Join the family. Subscribe if you haven't. Hope that you'll join us. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you big into Mezco? I'm really become fond of the Mezco 112 collective as I've continued to collect these figures, and I have quite a few of them actually. And one of these days I might be able to do a tour showcasing all of them. Let me know what you think. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.
I'm sorry, Herr Schmidt. We fought to the last man.
Evidently not.